Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Bike, and I have a really rad machine in front of me today, in an awesome color too. One of the coolest classic vehicles we've had on this channel. This is an iconic, actually. This is a 1979 Vespa P200, and it's quirky. There's some things you're gonna wanna see on this bike. So I've got the owner, Mark. Come on in here.
Hey.
Thanks for showing this to us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for bringing this along. I know very little about this scooter. So I guess first, how long have you had this?
I've had it a little over a year.
Okay.
I bought it from a friend of mine that actually owned it for about 15 years prior to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the P series, I guess, is, I was looking up a little bit of the history, but it seemed like this was the scooter that they kind of, in the late 70s, they revamped, gave it a new style, and then they ran it for years. Like, the production started in 77, this is a 79, so it's close to the front, but it went through the 90s,
Yeah,
right?
in 1997.
Yeah. And largely unchanged through that. So what's powering this?
It's a 200cc two-stroke.
Okay. Single cylinder, I'm guessing?
single cylinder engine. Yeah, carbureted.
Nice.
Yep.
So we're definitely going to have to kick it over and get it out on the road because I'm sure it sounds awesome. But before we do, there's a few little quirky things I want to walk through, and we'll kind of gradually build up as they get cooler. But one of the first things is this little glove compartment here. Can you show inside?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you just go down with it? Or?
Sorry, I have some stuff in here.
All good.
Spare parts and tools and, you know, rego and stuff. But like, you know, cables and plugs. I mean, it's like,
I mean, that's a very sizable compartment here that you can throw all your stuff into, which is awesome. More scooters and bikes, more modern bikes should be doing that because that's really cool. So we'll close that back up. One of the other really weird, quirky things that I found with this bike is how far these bars turn. That's crazy. Like, look at the angle on that front wheel there. That's got to be close to like 70 degrees. And we were talking about this. Probably part of the reason is these were built to roll around Italy in crowded cities, tight streets. You wanted to be able to weave in and out of cars and get where you need to go quickly. So I know one of the big selling points of this bike when it was brand new and they redesigned it was the reworked front suspension, and that's pretty cool. You can see the tiny little spring there that is adjustable, and you can play with your suspension settings on an old school Vespa, which is awesome. Talk to me about this, because this has got to be one of the weirdest things on this bike, the grip shift. Yeah, so it's like an all-in-one clutch and grip shift. It's a 4-speed, so it's a lot like a motorcycle, 1 down and then 3 up. But it, utilizes the torque and power of the 200cc motor to its fullest, and this thing gets out of its own way, unlike a 50cc scooter. It zips down the road just fine. So how fast have you had this up to? I've had this about 50 or 55. Well, I will say it feels a little sketchy with the smaller tires and everything. All right, it is definitely going to take me a second to figure out this grip shift. This is really odd, super, super odd, because you're twisting the throttle, and then there's this new motion of adding in twisting the left hand. And I usually clutch with 2 fingers. I'm going to have to change that up for this ride because it likes to be pulled all the way in. Drum brakes aren't terrible. I mean, they're not great, but they work. They're definitely old drum brakes. I'm getting the hang of it though. Oh, right as I say that, I stall it. All right, back to neutral. Can I kickstart it on the bike? Yes, I can. I love the design of this, like all this chrome and the bars around it, even these crash bars. Like, this bike has taken a hit on the right side at some point in its life. Someone let it touch the ground. And I don't know if those bars weren't on there or if they got crunched up, but...
No, he installed them after
okay,
that
so
happened.
if they were on there,
yeah,
it would have saved him.
And I think that's why he installed them, because he bought it with that road rash.
Okay.
Yeah.
They look really cool. I would have thought they were factory. You've also got a weird... like straight foot peg here. That's actually for the passenger. So rear passenger on the back here, then they've got somewhere to put their legs, and then, you know, the operator of the scooter would put their legs up here on the floorboard. Can we look under the seat and see what's under there?
Yeah, for sure.
So pretty basic, right? Just fuel and oil.
Yep. You add your Go Juice here, just regular unleaded.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's like a 2 or 3 gallon tank. And then it is a 2-stroke, so you have to keep the 2-cycle oil, you know, full. There's actually a sight glass for that. So this glass right here, you can see is full of oil. You know, it's a quick reference little gauge. You know, if you're riding along and look down, you start seeing that air in it or something, then you're getting low on oil.
All right, we got a little straightaway. Let's see if I can finally figure this thing out. No, it really doesn't want to be in second gear. Hey, is the carb fuel on with the screw pointing straight forward?
Oh, that's off. I'm sorry.
All good?
Yeah, put it up.
Straight up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to prevent the carbs from flooding. I'm sorry.
All good. That's more like it. Alright, now that we've got the carburetor figured out, we can go for a much more realistic ride. Now the grip shift is easy once the bike's getting fuel. I'm not going to go too crazy because that's never what you want to do on a classic bike, and also I'm riding a grip shift, which is something I'm not used to. But also this front brake is worthless. It's got drum brakes front and rear, so they were never that great, but whenever you're using your rear brake to stop more than your front brake, it means something's a little off with the bike. But nevertheless, we'll cruise it around the neighborhood. I am definitely starting to get the hang of this grip shift. But it is an odd feeling twisting with both your left and right hands, because typically on a motorcycle you're only going to twist with your right hand. And this you do both on. But it's easy enough. And if the clutch were adjusted properly, it'd be even easier. But yeah, once you're moving, upshifting is nice and easy, and so is downshifting. Finding neutral's a breeze as well. What I do like about this, aside from the color and that you just look like an absolute badass riding it around, is the engine configuration. We don't have a lot of 2-stroke scooters around anymore, so there's a bit of nostalgia that comes with that. And just the smells and the feelings and vibrations you get out of a 2-stroke is really a fun experience. But also the fact that this is a 200cc 2-stroke means that it moves pretty good. And especially this being a 2-passenger vehicle, this is actually something you could get around town on and not feel like you're gonna die every time a car comes by you, like you might feel on something like a Ruckus. Here in Colorado, 49cc scooters are great because you don't need a lot of training, you don't need a license, they're cheap to run. One of the weirdest things I saw on this bike was, poke the camera under here.
Oh.
There's a spare tire being carried along with this bike, as you can see right there. So how do you get to that?
Yeah, you just have to take off the side panel here, which you have 2 knobs to do.
So no tools required?
No tools required. I mean, I think, you know, the bike was designed to ride pretty good distances and probably not over the best roads in the world in Italy, dirt roads and whatever. And yeah, it has a full-size spare. Yep. So just take this little crash bar off, and then there's another tab over here. You pull and
wow.
Check that out.
The batteries in
and
there.
It even
too.
has a little lead-acid battery that runs the lights and everything.
So do they give you tools to put that on? Is there like a little toolkit somewhere?
Yeah, there's like some tools
just
up
up here in your storage compartment.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen a motorcycle, a two-wheeled motorcycle with a spare tire. I mean, I've seen like sidecars and Urals and stuff that have, you know, on the sidecar they'll carry a spare, but not built into the bodywork from the factory like that. That is awesome. Now, if you look on the back side of this cover, you can see there's a light here. We've got a turn signal, and we didn't have to disconnect any wires to pull this off. It just, the panel pulled right off, and you can see the wiring coming out of here and running all the way along. So our best guess is that this is your positive, right?
Yeah.
Goes into, where would that be, right here?
Yeah, right there,
It makes a connection.
Yeah, it makes a connection there.
And then it's probably just grounded through that pin right there. What a clever design for the late 70s.
Yeah, you can see it's actually nylon, right? With like a metal tip, so it doesn't ground on the body.
Yeah, way cool.
I know.
And then it looks pretty simple up here. That's our carburetor control for fuel, and then choke down there as well.
Yes, yep.
And that's the sticker you want to see, made in Italy. This, even though, you know, 10 horsepower, nothing crazy, it can hold its own on public roads and get you around, and do so in style and on a cool machine too. What motorcycle fan wouldn't think an old 70s Vespa with a 200cc two-stroke and a twist shifter up here? Who wouldn't think that's cool? No one. So anyway, there you go, guys. There is the Vespa P200E. I'm a little confused as to whether or not this is actually the E model, because from reading, it seems like the E meant electronic fuel injection, and this one is definitely not fuel injected, as you can tell from my earlier struggles. So I'm a little confused about that, but it does say E on the side. Maybe I'm wrong on the name designations, or maybe the badge isn't supposed to say E and it does. But maybe some of you guys who have been around longer than I have and remember these when they were actually in production can have some insight on that, and you can add it to the comments below. So yeah, very cool ride. I'm loving this shifter, and I wish I had more room in my garage, because this is one that I would definitely love to own, and this is one that Case especially I think would lose his mind over. So a little bit of a bummer that he couldn't be here, but just means I get to go have fun. I'm a little lost here. I'm gonna go find my way back to my people. Head on over to alltfl.com so you don't miss anything in the bike world. We've got some exciting bike videos coming now that it's starting to be summer, or close to summer. We're not even in spring yet, I guess, but today it's like 60 degrees, so it feels like we're close to summer, and we are getting closer to summer. So more riding videos to come. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.